Welcome to Yellow Cardinal Tarot with me. My name is Carol, and this is going to be a general reading for you for June 2025. In today's reading, I'm going to be doing Moving Beyond Illusion. And this is a reading I've done once on this channel before. And it was sort of inspired by the dragonfly that you probably saw on the thumbnail, and it's on the chart above. And yeah, it was a picture that my daughter sent to me quite a while ago. And when she sent it to me, I couldn't believe it was real because of the pearly eyes. And so I asked her to touch it, and she said, "Ooh, no." And you know, that kind of got me thinking. It was just like, you know, what is it about ourselves that we believe? And it could be a false belief, definitely a false belief. It's something that we've told when we were younger. And, you know, and a lot of times it's something that we don't like about ourselves, but we continue to believe that it's real. And so that's what inspired this reading. And so I thought that it was just calling to me again to do it this month. And so we're going to be looking at the false idea or belief system that you have about yourself that, you know, I need to bring awareness to. And that's what tarot is. Tarot will always bring awareness to something that you already know. But sometimes we need the reminders. And, you know, it's like, okay, it's time to look at this because you've been carrying this around for a while. And so for this reading, I'm going to be using the Curious Travels deck. I'm going to be clarifying it with the Tarot Vintage. And then I'm going to pull an oracle card for you at the end. It's a Return of Spirit card. And I'll pull at the beginning, but I'll read it at the end. And so let's begin, Aries, by looking at what false idea or belief about yourself do you need to become aware of. Okay, so one card for that. One card for Aries. What false idea or belief system about themselves do they need to become aware of in June 2025? I hope you're all doing well out there in these crazy times. Definitely some, I'm sure there's a call for a lot of us to go towards our own healing and facing our fears. And so you have the Hierophant card that's kind of sideways, but I'm going to put it upright for now. And that's what the false belief or false idea you have about yourself. Now, what shadow aspect is driving or impacting this illusion? And so, the shadow, your shadow is, if you're unfamiliar with those terms, I have a video for that in my description box below. But your shadow is all those things about yourself from childhood or adolescence that you were told. There could be belief systems. And there's memories there, there's trauma, things that you believe about yourself, and you've put them away, you shove them down, you don't want to deal with them, and there's something that's always coming up. We're always healing, right? So there's something here that's coming up for healing that needs to heal for you to heal this belief system or this illusion or false idea that you have about yourself. So what's driving this? What is sitting in your shadow that's driving this belief system or impacting it? And it will have the most impact on it. It's going to be, you know, what's causing it. Where is it coming from? And one card for that. One card for that. The shadow aspect for Aries. One card. These cards are usually pretty good at coming out. So it's like, oh, there they are. There's two of them. So the Page of Pentacles in reverse. And then you have the Nine of Swords. And How can you begin to heal the shadow aspect in order for you to move beyond this illusion of yourself? And that's what I like about this section. I don't leave you hanging here. I'm going to give you, might recommend some videos for you at the end. The tarot is going to give you some advice as how you can start to heal this. And that's very important. Because sometimes, you know, we don't know where to start. And there's the Queen of Pentacles for you. All right, so let's turn to the Tarot Vintage, and can I get a couple clarifiers for this Hierophant card? A couple cards for the Hierophant. You have the Magician in reverse. You have the Two of Cups and the Knight of Swords. Good to see a knight coming out here. I haven't seen one in the last few readings I've been doing. Page of Pentacles and the Nine of Swords. A couple clarifiers for that. You have the Chariot in reverse and the Strength card in reverse. Two major arcana cards here for you. Powerful ones. Very powerful cards. Those are Queen of Pentacles. A couple cards for that. There's one and there's another one. Those came out easily. All right, so you have this one sideways, which is the Four of Swords. And then you had another one that was sideways, which is the Two of Wands. It's like I'm looking at reading it sideways. Two of Wands here. Okay. And let's pick, let's do your Oracle card right now, and then I'll just leave it for the end. A nice little surprise for you at the end. I've just, did I say that they were from Return of Spirit? I can't remember. I just purchased this one, and apparently I need to read a couple of them, but you have Sexuality and Right. Yeah, like I don't know if I saw someone else use them on another channel, and it was just like, I'm kind of interested. I've been using them and I like them just for this reading. So, let's begin, Aries. Your false idea of belief system. So first thing that comes out is the Hierophant card, and that's a major arcana card, and it's very powerful, and it's number 5, and 5s are all about change, conflict, and because there's conflict, it brings about change. And so what's conflicting about the Hierophant? Well, you know, the Hierophant card, it has this figure up here. A lot of times it's a papal figure in the Rider-Waite deck. And it's, you know, spewing out all their wisdom to these two individuals right here. And they're listening. They're like, there's the disciples of this individual that's, you know, an authority figure of some sort, where they're teaching them something and they're learning. And so this is, you know, you. And this is things that you've learned, things that you picked up when you were younger. The way that we were wired when we're younger. And this card comes out when it says, you know, you have these false ideas, you have these belief systems about yourself, and it's very important right now that you need to look at, how are you wired? How are you wired to believe this? This is what you were wired to believe. And that's a hard one because, well, we're all wired, right? We're all wired, but very importantly, it's saying, you know, you need to look at this. You have everything in you. This is the Magician card, but you believe that you can't do something. And the Magician card says you have everything at your disposal. You have everything in you. But for some reason, you are believing that you can't do this. Maybe you're not allowed to do this. There's just no way. Like, there's something here, I think, that you want to do. There's something here that you You know, I think it's a general reading, but it's not really giving me exactly if it's like something you want to do, but it's something you believe about yourself that maybe, like I said, maybe it's like, oh, I can't do this, or I'm not allowed to do this, or I would never be able to do that. And what is it that you're telling yourself that you've been wired to believe all your life when it comes to doing something, when it comes to putting yourself first, when it comes to deciding, yeah, that's where I want to do that for me. I want to go in that direction. That would be cool. That's a great idea. And all of a sudden you get this, you're shut down, right? And it's like, no, I couldn't do that. I can't do that. Are you kidding me? So what is it that you're hearing in your head that you're saying, I can't do that? There's no way I can do that. Are you kidding me? Like, that's the situation that you're sitting here with right now. And you have the Two of Cups that's behind that card, the Magician card that says you have everything in you. You can do this. We all can do this. This story came to me and you know, it was yesterday. My riding lawnmower, has been giving me some problems, and it's only like 3 years old. It's brand new. And this time it's my battery. This time it wasn't working the other day. It would stall on me. And I couldn't figure out what it was, and I sat on it, and I literally I live on an acre property. I literally mowed it with my push mower the other day because it was like, I'm so freaking angry at this mower, and I don't know what to do. I sat probably on it for about a week after I mowed and it was like, I just felt like I'm so angry because I don't know what's wrong with this, and I felt so helpless. And I finally worked through a lot of my helplessness and how I felt hopeless and how I felt helpless. And it was just like, I know that I can do this. And this is kind of like your situation where it's like, it's the Magician card. You have everything in you. You can do this. And I had to work through some memories, and I had to believe that I could figure out what was wrong with this mower. And so I finally bought myself a micrometer. I didn't know what the hell that was. I tested it, and I was like, oh, my battery says 11.77. So I looked that up. It was like, oh, if your battery says 11.7, that means it needs to get charged. And it was like, oh, and I had this battery charger sitting in my shed. It wasn't mine. It was here when I moved here. I don't know why I'm telling you this story, but it's like, and so I thought, okay, I got to learn how to do that. And so I brought that in the house, and I learned how to do that. And I was like, okay, I charged it up to the point it was supposed to be, but I put it back in my lawnmower. I don't know if it's going to work yet. I haven't tried it. I'm waiting for it to, but it's just like, the story is you have everything. You have everything in you. You can do this. And then there's this Two of Cups that comes up, and that's the relationship. It's an intimate, personal relationship. And, it's not between two individuals. It's a very healing relationship here. It's between you and yourself. And so there's this real need for you to finally, begin to have this relationship with you and to really get to know who you are and really realize that, you have it in you. This is the way you were wired. But you have it all in you to find out what it is that, is pulling you into this direction, because you have this Knight of Swords that's coming out here. And the Knight of Swords, the Knight for in my deck is, I call it my freedom fighter. It's a strong adolescent part of you, and they don't want to accept conformity whatsoever. They're dying for the right to be who they are. And you have this sword in your hand, and that's your sword of authenticity. That's your sword of truth. And I can't help but saying that there's this huge drive, this pull, this part of you that's trying to get you, Aries, to go towards your authenticity, to find out like who you are, and to start to question How are you wired? What are these beliefs that you have about yourself that are not true? And there's a real pull here to go towards the authentic you, because I think there's something here that you have really been believing something about yourself that's just not true. That you believe you don't have it in you to do whatever it is you want to do right now. I don't have this in me. There's no way I have this in me. There's no way. Did you think that I felt like I could fix my lawnmower? I couldn't. Believe me, even the fact for me to go and take out that battery out of there, I can't tell you, when I first bought this lawnmower, I sat on it for weeks going, I can't touch that battery. I don't know how to do it. I'm petrified. But I had to work up to it. I had to work up a lot of memories and emotions inside of me so I could get to it. And this is what's going on with you. Like, there's this call, this pull for you to go towards your authenticity, and you've got it all in you. But why don't you believe it? What's sitting in your shadow, Aries, that, you are the sign, Aries, that is the ignition key. Like, you're the one that gets everything going all the time. But for some reason, you're sitting here going, I can't do this. I can't. And oftentimes we'll get like that. We'll just, I can't take that battery out of that lawnmower. I don't know how. And so what's in your shadow? What's sitting here from your childhood, from your adolescence, that is really preventing you from believing that you can do this? And you start off with the Page of Pentacles, which is an inner child. So it's a part of you that's about 4, 5, 6 years old that's blocked right now, and it needs healing. When an inner child, when a page comes up, it's like this part of you needs healing. It's the part of you, the pentacle, the earth, the body element. It's the part of you that, believe it or not, was in their body when they were very, very young. They were very grounded. And so I think that there are some memories here, because the 9 of Swords is coming up, and this individual is like waking up in the middle of the night, having difficulty sleeping. And this is always a memory card here. So there's memories that are coming up, memories that are coming up for you, that this inner child of yours holds in their shadow. They hold all the big emotions. They hold the fear. They hold the grief. So what is it? There's something here. There's maybe a fear coming up for you. There's grief, maybe, could be anger. There's big emotions that this inner child right here is holding, that's related to a memory that's sitting here in your shadow that you need to get to, because that's what's going to give you the clarity to know, well, I can do this now, and that's where I had to go with my lawnmower. And the Chariot card comes out here as a clarifier for this. And so I think when you were younger, the Chariot card speaks about going inwards. It's like when you were younger, we often we try to control things with our mind, right? I'm going to say that when you were younger, you were very grounded, like I said. And then what happens is when we become ungrounded, when memories, traumatic things happen to us, we end up going in our head. And so we no longer are in our bodies, and we start to control everything with our mind. And I'm wondering if that's where you are right now, where you're really in your head and you're controlling things with your head and trying to control situations with your mind. And I think when you were younger, because of this memory here that's coming up for you, here's the Strength card, another major arcana card. You lost that strength to be grounded and be able to stay in your body. Because in order for you to feel all your emotions, and the Strength card is really a card about this individual that's prying open the lion's mouth, prying open that Pandora's box of emotions, right? And when you were younger, you lost that ability to be able to feel all your emotions. And that's where these inner children come in for us when we're younger. They're the ones that hold all these big emotions, because we couldn't do that when we were younger. We just didn't have the capability, right? Emotions are, for us as a child, you see things in black or white. And when it becomes very gray for us, and when these emotions are way too big, we don't have the capability to handle them. And so these inner parts, these inner children, they hold our memories, they hold our emotions for us. And that's what's coming up for you right now, that you need to get to. And I'm wondering if, because I didn't mention, but this Knight of Swords here, who's, wanting to get to your authenticity and who you are, they can sometimes be, they can have some real ungrounded anger. And so maybe you're someone who has some anger that you need to get to. Maybe if you're someone that finds they get angry at people and they lash out at people, at all the wrong people at the wrong times, it's because you have some ungrounded anger that you need to get to. Or sometimes you can be feeling like hopeless. You can go in and out of hopelessness because, there's something here that says, you can't do this. You're not able to do this. Are you crazy? Who do you think you are? You can't do this. And so there's a real memory around this that you need to get to. And you're going to find that these big emotions that are coming up, like I said, fear or sometimes shame or grief are behind that you need to feel and get to that memory before you can do what it is that you're wanting to go towards. And so I've told you that. Now, where do you go? Like, how do you begin to heal this shadow aspect right here so that you can move beyond this illusion that you have of yourself right now? Well, first thing is this Queen of Pentacles comes out, and she's the feminine side of you. We all have a masculine side and we have a feminine side. It's got nothing to do with gender, but the Queen talks about these beautiful feminine qualities that we have that have been buried and repressed in us for so long. And she's the Queen of the Pentacle. The Pentacle is the body. It's the earth element. It's being grounded, right? And being grounded in ourself. And, she comes up when she says, I think you've been living in your head, Aries, you've been trying to control the situation right now. And it's time for you to get grounded in your body. We often forget that we have this body, because if there's emotions that are stirring and coming up, like fear or grief or shame, hopelessness, all these big emotions will go up in our heads because our ego will put us up there. Why? Well, because there's no emotions up there, and so we control things with our head. We forget that we have a body. And you see, this is what was happened to you when you were younger. When you have these big emotions that came up for you when you were younger, well, you went up in your head, you couldn't handle it. Our ego will do that. It'll pull us out of our body and bring us up in our head, because ego is all about safety. It kept us safe when we were younger, and it thinks that we're still there. It thinks that we're still a child, but it's up to us to remind our ego that like, I'm an adult now, I can do this. You can handle these big emotions, but you need to get back in your body. And I'm going to leave you with a grounding playlist at the end. And I literally take you out, and I made it a few years ago, but I use it all the time as far as the grounding techniques that I'll teach you, where I take you out in my backyard and I show you how I ground. When I need to ground, when I need to get back in my body so I can feel these big emotions that I'm running from, that are associated with this memory, I have to go and ground. And so that's the first thing. And it's also the universe is saying here, the tarot is saying, you need to take some time out. This is the Four of Swords, and it's an individual that is, taking time out, carving time out for themselves. And that is so hard because we can get so busy, right? I don't have time. I don't have to, maybe that's part of how you've been wired, is that I can't take time out for myself. Are you kidding me? That's selfish. But no, we need to take time out for ourselves so that we can get still. This is another feminine quality. A feminine characteristic here is that in order to ground, we need to get still. Get in touch with that stillness, that quietness, so that we can start to feel some of these emotions. And guess what's going to happen? Once you get yourself grounded, once you get yourself still, there's going to be some real clarity that's going to come up here. Right now it's blurry, but look at this individual, this Two of Wands, holding that earth in their hand and going, I know there's more, there's something out there for me. You're going to start to see there's something out there. You're going to start to see what your next step is, what you need to do in this situation that you're in right now, that you're believing that I can't do this. There's no way I can do this. And so Aries, I'm going to read. You are the only sign so far that I've decided to allow you to have 2 of these oracle cards. So I won't read 2 of them in full because they'll be a bit long. So let's just see what I can pick up. First of all, with sexuality, 82. Your sexuality is just as important as any other aspect of your being. It's so important, in fact, that not 1, but 2 chakras manage and maintain your sexual energy. Loving sexual contact is vital for your emotional, physical, and energetic well-being. It can be one of the greatest pleasures and joys of being incarnated in a human body. You are being asked to look at your desires, your beliefs, your wounds around your sexual needs. If you are feeling inadequate, unwanted, or unattractive, then it is time to begin a regime of self-love. It is time to restore any low self-worth and negative programming you have about your physical body. Sexual energy is a powerful expression of our creative force. You may find that by allowing your sexual energy to flow, your creative energy will too. By embracing every aspect of being human, we discover the truth of our own divinity. And I think this is this Two of Wands here, where it says your sexual energy will start to flow and your creative energy will too. This is the nudge towards that creative energy. And you also got the card Right, which is 108. It's the last one. There is an expression in English about words being printed in black and white. By drawing this card, Spirit is affirming to you that you need to get your words written down on paper. Is there something you've thought about writing? Oh, it could be poetry, a children's book, a song, a letter, a website, a channeled message, a book, or even a speech. Whatever it may be, the energy of putting your thoughts, ideas, and information into a tangible form of manifestation is here. Do not put it off any longer. If you are having doubts, that's fine. Just acknowledge them and take action. It's important you do this. It's going to lead somewhere else. This is going to lead to something more. The right card can also indicate a need to begin journaling. This could be in the form of a diary. However, it could also be that you need to start recording the ideas, thoughts, and teachings you are receiving. There is pertinent information in your written words. So this is powerful because, I've kind of been like not really certain about this, and there's something to do with writing here. You know what it is. It's a general reading. So I'm going to leave you with a playlist for grounding, and I'm also going to leave you with a playlist for journaling, and I'm going to teach you how to journal and how I journal. Those are my 2 main tools that I use in my own healing journey. So fascinating, Aries. I want to remind you that this journey is the most difficult journey of your life, the healing journey, but it's the most important one. So take care, and I'll talk soon next month. Bye-bye.